So this first story happened about all the way back in around the winter. I think it was like January or February, sometime around then. Anyway, I was outside all alone shoveling my driveway, right? Just figured I could be helpful, but I was all by myself. So there was just kind of weird noise. It sounded kind of like an alarm. I can't really recreate it, but it sounded like this weird kind of alarm thing. And then I hear this weird kind of like high-pitched hissing noise coming from about the same direction. Next thing you know, I hear what sounds like a bunch of gunshots. And I still don't have an explanation as to what this is. That's why it's an unexplainable story. So don't ask me what I think it was. So, a few minutes later, this like alarm noise is still going off. A few minutes later, a bunch of black trucks with like really tinted out windows, like in this huge big line, all just drive over in the direction of where I hear this alarm sounding. I don't think anything of it until I start hearing all these gunshots again. A few minutes later, it goes silent, and then I hear some more screeching. It goes silent again. A few minutes later, a bunch of vans of the same model, but they had like company decals and logos on it, but they're all the same like model of van, all kind of come in, but with like 30 seconds in spacing between them. They also go in the same direction as where the alarm is coming from. A few minutes later, here's some more gunshots. Everything goes quiet. Here's screeching again. So this is when I started to get a little bit suspicious and started to get worried that something was going terribly wrong somewhere. And next thing you know, the screeching, I start to hear it again, and it's getting closer and closer to where I am shoveling my snow. So I get really scared. The alarm's still going on. It's like a really weird alarm. Like, it didn't seem to have any kind of pattern to it, but it was just kind of otherworldly sounding, you know. And as far as I know, there aren't any like military bases where I live, so it's kind of weird. So I don't really know what that was. I never saw the cars or the vans drive back past my house though. So take that what you will. So that's kind of like an alien, or I mean, not really alien, but could be something. So the next story that I'm going to tell is a stalker story. So I just gotten back from the movie theater, right? I was watching like Infinity War or something like that. I get back, I go in my room, and I can tell that someone's been through my room. So I know this because there's a box on my bed, like a cardboard box, and like a poster on my bed. And I don't like to put stuff on my bed because I usually don't spend that much time in my room, so I just like to keep my bed clean so I can just go in there and sleep without having to worry about anything too much. So I noticed that there's just stuff on my bed. I don't know what's going on. So it's clear that someone's been through my room. And also, like, things like in my room have been shifted around and whatnot. And just like it's really obvious that someone's been through my stuff. So of course, naturally, I go and confront my sister about it. And like, it's kind of like one of those sibling things where you can tell when they're lying and you can tell when they're not. Yeah, she was not lying when she said that she did not go in there. The only other person who was home at that time was my mom, and you know, she has no reason to go in my room whatsoever. So I just kind of brushed it off and thought, maybe I moved the boxes by myself. So the reason I have this on this list is because the following day, because it's like late at night, because we saw like a kind of late showing of it. So this is the following day, right? I get a call on my phone from a completely, like, it's not on my contacts list. I have no idea who's calling me, right? Pick up the phone, and it's kind of like this. Sounds like a dude with like a really kind of deep voice trying to put on like a light tone, and he's like, hi. And as soon as I hear this, I immediately hang up, thinking not much of it, thinking it's probably just some kind of prankster or something like that. But a few minutes later, I get a call again from a different number. Answer it. It's the same dude, but this time I say hello back, and so he knows that I'm on the line. And what he said next still freaks me out to this day. He says, hello, I've been thinking about you. And that just like completely freaked me out, because I have no idea who this dude is, and the previous night my room had been looked through. So, you know, I was like really scared, because I was thinking like I know it's not that logical that someone broke in my house when my mom and my sister were home, my dog who barks at everything. So it's, I don't know, but like, you know, you kind of get paranoid even at stupid things. So I shut my curtains and I just kind of go to sleep. I haven't gotten a call from that number since. Nothing's come of it. So some other interesting unexplainable stories that I have to tell are some of my Bigfoot sightings. So I've had quite a few Bigfoot sightings across my life, you know. Just kind of weird occurrences, if you know what I mean. So one of the first ones I can remember is I was standing in my driveway with an iced tea stand, and I was kind of screaming, you know, get your iced tea, you know, kind of like that thing that you do. And I was kind of young at the time. No one came to buy any iced tea. Iced tea is not as popular as lemonade, and this was during the summer. So after a while, I noticed that there's this weird thing across the street and to my left. I look over, and there's this like kind of ape-like creature just covered in orange fur, just kind of like standing behind a telephone pole, you know, like holding onto it and looking from side to side, and kind of like, I don't know how to like kind of describe it, but it was like grabbing onto the telephone pole and kind of like dipping its head between each side, just like looking at me. And as soon as it realizes that I'm looking at it back, it darts like in one direction, and I can only see it for a few seconds after that, because just how fast it was running. I have no idea how to explain it. Nothing else weird happened after that. So a few years later, I was in my bathroom, and there's a window on my bathroom, and my shower curtain was back, so I could see through the window. And I look out the window, and I see something kind of weird in the corner of my eye. So I stand up and look out the window all the way, right? And there's this another bipedal, like kind of ape creature, but this one doesn't have orange fur. It has like black fur, and there's like this old like barrel in my backyard. It was like grabbing onto the barrel, dipping its head from side to side, kind of like the last one, but it was more like scrunched down. So I felt like it was just staring in my eyes, like staring into my soul. Like it was kind of surreal experience. But yeah, nothing ever happened outside of those Bigfoot occurrences. Nothing out of the ordinary, at least from around here. That's pretty much all the kind of weird stories that I've had that I'm willing to share in one video, at least. So now we're gonna get into the portion of where I've been and the future of my channel. So I've made a lot of promises to what I'm gonna do with this channel, broken many of them. It's kind of been like, I record some gameplay, I'm ready to put some commentary over it, or I make a montage, put a lot of editing into it, and then I just don't feel inspired to make that project anymore. Like, it just kind of, the interest fades. And so I've been trying to figure out, like, what I want to do the most. And if this video, if you're watching this video, then obviously it probably found what I want to do. Anyways, anywhom, I'm not gonna have an uploading schedule, at least not one that I can foresee, and I'm just gonna upload kind of whenever I feel like it. I'm gonna upload whenever something interesting comes across my mind, or I have a pretty good idea. So, if you're interested in what's gonna happen on my channel, that's pretty much all the updates. Some interesting stories. Yeah, see you guys next time if there is.